Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's drama is 3 short stories titled The AFK FC Leader, Mr. Lupin, and First Friendly Contact. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Alright, first short story. This is a fairly recent event on the server I am on now. I had joined this well-known LGBT FC, and I had been there for quite a while, so the main leader was more of a shadow leader, an AFK one. You hardly ever saw him online. Everything was mainly left to the second in charge, who is one of the nicest and sweetest people ever. Anyway, very recently, the AFK FC leader, who hadn't been seen since the end of 6.0, logs in one evening and randomly kicks 30 plus people with no word of warning, then tries to justify it by saying he didn't know those people, which was why he kicked them. A lot of people were not happy by this, as a lot of us had seen our friends randomly kicked on the whim of one person. We were all mad and decided to call him out. This also included people on his council who felt that this was incredibly bad. He doubled down on his reasoning and tried to say, "It's okay, we can just invite them back," completely ignoring the reason why we were all so mad in the first place. The FC leader doing this one action alone broke every member's trust with him. How could anyone realistically return when at a moment's notice they could be kicked simply because the FC leader doesn't know you? His guard dog tried to go back up his reasons by saying the people who were kicked didn't know them and they weren't online a lot. That was bullshit because I was on a break from the game, but yet I was still able to make time and effort to get to know the people over time. This isn't even the first instance of a culling of members in the FC. Previously, a vague warning was put up in their Discord, which sent panic through a lot of people at the time. One of the higher-up members who had been helping out with the leadership duties was rightfully furious, and when they called out the FC leader for this, his guard dog was incredibly rude by telling them to shut up and they don't need a reason. Eventually, all this ended with this FC losing up to 40 plus members in the space of 24 hours. It quite literally imploded upon itself, and I'm honestly sorry to see how it has ended up because I really did enjoy my time there. Okay, that's the end of the first short story. Yeah, it just sounded like FC leader went on a hiatus for a while and then came back and was just like, I don't know these people, let's kick them all out, and everyone just got angry. The guard dog, I know the guard dog part, I wanted to be like, as soon as he called like some officer a guard dog, all I could think of was like some person barking like a dog in the FC. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. Like, it just sounds like gotta leave that FC. I think it's been dead for a while, and owner probably has different plans. All right, this second short story is titled Mr. Lupin. Hi Pathra, I love listening to you read Final Fantasy XIV drama stories on YouTube and felt compelled to share my own. I met a guy on FF14 through a friend a little over a year ago. I'll call him Chumbo. Chumbo popped up randomly at a friend's house and we all started talking there. He seemed really chill at first, and I thought he was pretty funny, to be honest. I would run dungeons with him here and there. Chumbo would always critique everything I did and tell me what and what not to do. I appreciated it at first and thanked him for his advice. It got to a point where he told me that if I ever did mess up bad enough, he would blow up on me. I didn't like this and gave him some space. Since I wasn't playing with him as much anymore, he reached out and asked why. And I told him straight up, I just didn't feel comfortable playing with someone who casually told me, "Oh, don't worry, just don't mess up and I won't blow up on you." It felt like a ticking time bomb, and I didn't want to deal with it if he was going to be that way. This game is fun to me, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to get bad anxiety every time I wait in queue for a dungeon. Instead of taking my feedback like a normal person, Chumbo started being mean about it and acting like I was being too sensitive. He didn't think he did or said anything wrong. He said that he didn't blow up yet, so what's the problem? I pointed out to him that "yet" portion of that sentence is what is also concerning. I shouldn't play a game worrying that whether or not I make a mistake, it will make him blow a gasket. The argument went on for a while before it finally stopped. I couldn't tell if he genuinely thought he wasn't wrong or he was acting like it just to get me upset. Chumbo's done some other concerning things too while I was still around him. He would take a lot of not safe for work G poses of my warrior of light and his, which I was fine with. What started to bother me was when he started asking if he could take not safe for work screen caps with not only my warrior of light and his, but with his warrior of light's sister involved as well. He had another alt that wore the big ear headpiece and said this character was half Lupin, and asked how my warrior of light would feel if he was being knotted by his character's canine cock. Yo, what did I dive into here with the story? What the Immediately I said I wasn't comfortable with that. I don't like bestiality and wanted no part of it. Chumbo responded telling me that it was totally fine because his character isn't a dog. To which I replied, well, okay, if he's not a dog, why did you choose to use the word canine cock? Canine means dog. Not to mention, he also paired his adult character with Alize and had sent me pictures he commissioned of his warrior of light and hers. He even has a frickin' rifle with a charm of her on it. When I was still in his Discord server at the time, Chumbo had a cursed shitpost channel where if you scrolled up far enough, there were multiple not safe for work pictures he posted of dogs having sex with women. Oh my god. Hell no, run! Get out of there! What the hell? Oh my god, I can't. If I ever saw that, I'd just be like, what the hell? He ended up getting really abusive over the internet, gaslighting and messing with my head every chance he got. So I finally cut ties and got away and removed him from my friends list in game as well. Okay, that one, no wonder it's called Mr. Lupin. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, I would have been out of there. As soon as he said canine cock, I was block. What the hell? But yeah, I want to quickly go back to the part of the story where the OP mentions playing with someone that's like a ticking time bomb if you make a mistake. I've experienced this a little bit. Someone I knew in the game, I was actually doing uwu at the time. He wanted to, this person I knew wanted to get all the uwu tokens for every single job that the uwu weapon was available for. I think there's a total of 15 or something. I think I had 5 and I was fine with 5, but I agreed to like help them out as like a favor of them wanting all 15 weapons. And so I and a few others were there to help him. We were meeting every week, once a week. Every time like a random would mess up, he would like get mad at them. And these were like, some people were like sub-ins or fill-ins that we just got, like friends of friends to try help him get the totem. And so I watched him for about 2 weeks get mad at other people, like randoms I didn't know. And I was just like, oh my god, I don't want this to happen to me. And I think by the time it reached the 3rd week, I was kind of like seeing the past 2 weeks of him getting mad at like other people making mistakes. I had that in the back of my mind, like, don't fuck up, don't fuck up. And I just don't like to play under pressure. So I can kind of relate with the OP in that story where like, if someone says like, don't fuck up or else I'll get mad, and you've clearly seen them get mad at other people messing up, like you play like ass. You really do. When I heard him snap at me for making a mistake in the uwu party, I told myself there and then, this is the last time I'm gonna try help him. It's like, I felt bad too. It's like, I can't play under pressure and I feel like I'm doing shit because I'm playing like this. So at the end of that session, I messaged him and said, I can't play like that. So I'll just pull myself out of this group. Yeah, so that's my experience. And I totally agree. I can't play like that. Feels like you're in prison for sure. Yeah. I can tell he was just getting really frustrated because like it's been like 2 weeks or whatever and we weren't getting any clears, but I really do believe it's because of the vibe. If you have that vibe of like just starting to get angry at everyone's mistakes, then it's becoming like this like sinkhole Like, the mood is never good, so I don't think we're ever clearing it again. All right, let's go to the third short story. My first friendly contact. A few months ago, I had created my second account on the Oceania server, as my first account was on a different server, and the connection was always poor for me since I live all the way down in New Zealand. Hey! I'm half Kiwi, so I love New Zealanders. I was pretty comfortable doing raids and dungeons in Party Finder and Duty Roulette at this point, and was making my way through a Realm Reborn for the second time. I met a character in a new dungeon I was doing. We'll call her Sammy. Sammy was super nice and helpful throughout the dungeon. She was a healer but acted as a guide and gave lots of useful tips about fighting and using certain abilities. I was a dragoon and I really appreciated the tips from Sammy. After the dungeon was done, Sammy ended up messaging me through a whisper. This was my first whisper from anyone in the game. I'm super shy and I'm not good at making friends online, so I was super excited to have someone reach out to me. Sammy told me she is trying to gain the mentor status thing and that she could help me in the future with dungeons and raids. I agreed and we added each other on Discord. Sammy immediately started messaging me on Discord. She was trying to confirm whether I actually wanted her help and kept saying she had to go to bed and that if I replied quickly, it would be really good for her. So I quickly replied saying, yes, I'd love the help. I told her we'll talk tomorrow since she has to go to bed. But she didn't leave once I actually replied on Discord to her. Instead, she told me she had just gotten married. I said, congratulations. And she asked if I wanted to see the photos. I said, okay, sure. So she sends me photos of her FF14 character's wedding. This was not what I was expecting at all, lol. I thought she was talking about a real wedding IRL. Sammy is a female Mikote and she was wed to a female Aura. I said, wow, the photos are amazing because they were nicely edited or filtered. Eventually, she kept sending FF14 pictures of her character without me even asking. Solo ones, some of her and her friends. I complimented them, but started to feel a little uncomfortable with how much she was sending me since we weren't that close. Then, Sammy asked me if I wanted to see some different types of pics. I said, okay, ... Sammy said, they might be a little much. I agreed nicely, and why not? She sent me her whole character's Final Fantasy XIV life story at this point. A few more can't hurt, right? I was not knowing what to expect being new and all to the community. I also wasn't even in an FC at this point. That's how fresh I was on this new account. She began sending me dirty photos of her Final Fantasy XIV character and her partner who she was wed to. The two characters were in suggestive positions, and outfits they were wearing I didn't even know existed in the game. Oh, they don't exist in the game, I'ma tell you. They were quite raunchy outfits. I wasn't sure if Sammy realized that I am also a female. A mum, actually. Was it normal for Final Fantasy XIV people to send these kinds of photos around? Had she thought I was a guy playing behind my Mikote character? I myself wasn't sure if it was a guy or a girl playing behind Sammy's Mikote character. Apparently, she had a whole not safe for work Discord where photos like these were shared a lot, and she wanted to invite me to join so I could check it all out, and all the photos and drawings from other members just like her. I said I'd think about it. I told her I had to go, then blocked her off everything on Discord and on Final Fantasy XIV. I lost my first potential friend in the game. Just like that. I never expected it to go down a not safe for work path so quickly. Since then, I've never asked for help from anyone again and relied only on YouTube videos to help me learn mechanics. The end. Oh, that's so sad. That's their first experience. Their first experience. Oh my goodness. Don't worry. There are other people out there. You'll find good friends in the game. I believe so. You'll find some strange people, but you'll also find good people. Oceania server is like a new server, so I can imagine. That's what people said to me when I moved to Seraph. They're like, are you sure you want to go to the new data center, Pathra? You're gonna get a whole lot of people who had drama in previous servers moving to the new server to try have a new life. And I was like, that's probably true, but there's also a lot of housing, right? So there's gonna be a lot of people who just want a house. It's a mixture, probably. A mixture of people who had drama in the past and a mixture of people who just want to do housing. And I was like, also, if they have drama, you know, send it my way. I did that one time. So one person just started venting to me and they were like telling me about their drama. And I was like, oh, did you know there's this YouTuber who does Final Fantasy 14 drama stories? Self-promote, but they didn't know it was me. Oh, they never sent me a story though. Those were all the short stories. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra. And a big thank you to my kind members who support my YouTube content.